Mary Ann should be everybody's first choice for Grand Marshal. She's been a fixture in this community since forever. I've known Mary Ann since I started working here at Templeton High School, and I first met her down at Templeton Market. She owned the first Templeton Market down where the post office is, and if you didn't have any money, you could go down to Mary Ann and you could charge it, and she'd pick up the tab later. She's just a wonderful person. If you knew one of her 6 kids, then you know Mary Ann. If you had a kid that needed babysitting, you went to Mary Ann. If you needed to be babysat, you were at Mary Ann's house, and she is just the pillar of this community. She's a wonderful person. She knows everyone. She's helped everyone out. If anybody needs anything, she's the first one that they go to. She's just the kindest, most wonderful person. My kids call her Grandma, as do half the other kids in this community that had her as a babysitter. A funny story that I heard when I first met her is that she had 6 kids, and so at dinner time she would ring the dinner bell, and when she'd look at the table there'd be about 12 kids at the table instead of just her 6. They'd always bring somebody else home for dinner. She had kids in and out of her house all the time. Her and her husband Gene supported all the youth sports here in Templeton. She was beneficial in making Jack Allen Field up top the first football field. She ran the Booster Club. She was always bringing somebody lunch that forgot their lunch. She's just the best person that I know, and I love her dearly.
Hi, I'm Lori. I'm Mary Ann's only daughter, her favorite daughter. I'm second in line. I have a brother older than me, Steve. My brother right younger than me, Tony, and then these guys. I graduated from Templeton High in 1976. And I guess my fondest memory of Mom is she went everywhere with us. I mean, she took us to cheerleader camp. She drove us all over. She was at every high school dance, like I said. She was just always there, so it was kind of cool in some ways having your mom there all the time. If you needed something. I guess you just got used to it.
I'm Darren. I'm, I guess, the middle child. I graduated here at Templeton High School in 1981, and it's not so much a certain memory of my mom. It was my mom. She was everything when it came to organizing anything, either at Templeton High School or just the community. She was the go-to person, and she ran it, and she loved to run it, and she loved to run us, and I was proud of that. I appreciated her commitment to the school, and proud of that part of her. Kenny?
I'm Kenny, and I graduated Templeton High School in 1985. One of my fondest memories of my parents is my senior year. They dedicated the yearbook to them, and that was a very proud moment for me. You're up, Deeds.
Okay, I'm Katie. I think, the favorite grandchild. One of many, though. My dad is Mike, and sorry, he passed away this last year. Sorry guys.
You're fine, right?
By far my favorite memory of Graham is, like you guys said, like, Graham, you're always there. If I forgot my lunch, I would call Graham. Graham would bring me my lunch for my project. She watched us when we were little. She would babysit us when we were little. And the trip that we took back to Maryland to go visit Tony, I know, sorry, how did you come too? But no, she was always there, and you pass it on, so.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No, you didn't.
All right.
I think this is really awesome for my mom, because my dad was recognized with the field dedication, and he was the face of it, but my mom was in charge and a little bit behind the scene, but she ran everything. And whenever we came to my dad, go ask your mother, and she took took charge of everything, and so it's really cool that this happens so she can be recognized, because she was the one pushing the envelope the whole entire way. Us as a family, my dad, all the neighbor kids, anybody needed a leader, it was my mom. And so I think it's awesome that she is being recognized for this.
True.
I'm super happy about it.
Yeah, she's always been involved in kids. Everything for the kids. Whatever it is for the kids. She'd do whatever.
Yeah, no matter what they need.
No matter what they need, no matter what she's doing,
Yes.
no matter
How old we are,
how old we are.
still call her and go,
Mom, I need.
and
And Mom figures it out. Oh, I got this, or I got that, or, whatever.
Yeah.
She's always there. She's there for every kid in this town.
Yes.
She's
Always has
raised so many. In fact, I saw Val at the pumpkin patch. We took the kids to the pumpkin patch the other day, and Val said, I gotta tell you, Mary Ann did a really good job raising JR and Kelly.
Yeah.
Just like JR and Kelly were part of her kids, the McGill boys.
And
So
our
many
Toms.
kids, that she just, even after we grew up,
Yeah.
and after you grew up,
Yeah,
that
because I
she's
remember.
been a part of their lives.
Yeah, because I remember, because when I was part of, the daycare crew, I guess you could call, where it was, me and my brother Scott, and you had, like you said, JR and Kelly, they were a little bit younger, Nolan and Kayla, and you had, Kylie, and, all of, the kids, your generation, their kids, then, I grew up with them because Grandma was helping out with them and watching them. And so it was,
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
and anything that anyone of she was I think I remember Grandma saying oh yeah, I don't know how many emergency cards I'm on, because she was on everyone's emergency
emergency
card.
contact,
She was
yeah.
the emergency contact, or someone that you could pick up any kid basically in school. It seemed like she
Yeah.
could just
exactly.
because she was just part of so many people's lives and so many.
Yeah, and running the market,
Yeah.
everybody came in and they were family, and I think that solidified her place and my father's place of this town, because it was the Templeton market and everybody came in and everybody was family coming in. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, and she could come to the school because remember she went out and bought that video recorder to record all the games for the football and basketball.
Oh yeah,
that.
that started a long time ago. That was
Yeah, all the game films when there really wasn't any game films.
Nobody had video recorder back then.
And we did it, and they bought it, and we filmed it, the family, and
But she would show up at the parking lot and say, you, and you carry this crap to the football field and set it up on top of the press box.
And there was never anybody that said
No.
no. It was yes, Mary Ann.
Yes, whatever you need.
No, I think that
Yeah.
it's really cool that they selected Mom for this honor. I mean, she is like the grandmother of Templeton High School. I mean,
true.
from the time I was just barely out of diapers, we were always at a function,
Always.
booster club,
Little League basketball games,
Yeah.
concession stands.
concession
Remember that?
stands, getting there really, really early, and her just going, this is what we're doing, always in charge, and with a steady hand, and just, she pretty much,
Ran the show.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And my dad, dad followed,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Pretty much.
Yeah, and,
Smart man.
exactly, smart man. I like during the services of Mike, when Bud talked about, when Mary Ann says, you
better listen.
Yeah.
What did Jennifer say today? Grandma gives as good as she gets, or something like that. Meaning she'll do anything for you, but when she speaks, you
Yeah.
pay attention.
Yeah, exactly.
And I've heard that from not necessarily strangers, but anyone that I've talked to about Grandma, they're like, oh yeah, she's I know her, and when she stops, you stop, or you listen.
Mm-hmm.
When Grandma says something, you stop, you listen, and you follow that direction.
Yeah. And she was not only a mother to us, but
Yeah.
how many kids did she babysit and
how many kids lived with us?
And
Yeah.
lived with us, the McGills, and
The Dominguezes.
Coons,
The Coons,
Marquezes.
Marquezes.
took them all in and treated them like us, you know, a swift kick in the butt when needed,
right,
and you know,
right.
food on the table for everybody, and
Yeah, open door policy,
yeah,
and
exactly.
open refrigerator policy. There was never a hungry kid in Templeton. They just came to our house. And,
Yeah, that's one of the things I remember. She was always making sandwiches for the football team when we would travel.
Yeah.
I mean, especially like when in the old days when we played Maricopa, and they had nothing. There was nothing to eat except for at that one liquor store in Taft,
Right.
and so she would
and
make
there was a
sandwiches.
Yeah, that was the A&W.
I remember her a lot of times because she always went on the bus with us. She went everywhere with us.
Yes.
I never attended a high school dance, not one, without mom and dad there. Not a prom, not a homecoming, nothing.
Well, we were lucky. They retired that part.
Yeah. Me and Steve wore them down. Anyway, I remember a lot of times there was kids on the bus who didn't have anything to eat. So we would go to that A&W in Taft, and mom would just come back with however many bags from kids who didn't have anything. Just handed it to them like they, you know, gave her money to get, you know, or whatever, never said a word, passed them all out,
Right.
Yeah.
and then went on her merry way, you know,
Yeah.
a lot of times.
I can't remember anything that there was ever in this community. I mean, not only the school, but the community that, you know, we weren't, or she wasn't involved with, and then we were involved with it.
Right. I mean,
Mary Ann's
4th of
Army.
July barbecues where we were, you know, staying up midnight, 1 o'clock.
Strawberry shortcakes at the fair.
You know, preparing the beans, getting all the rocks out of the beans for them to, you know,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Cutting the
And,
ribs, setting up barricades.
I think the biggest value that Graham passed on to us and you, and then like to my parent, like my dad, and what I learned from my dad and my mom was, you pass it on. Like you become part of your community. My dad was a huge part of Templeton. He did coaching, and I can just remember from the very little everything that he did. And I saw it in all of you guys and the way that you guys raised your families and like our family together and the different pieces that we had. So.
Yeah, I mean, like you know did everything in Paso, but you know with the rec department and volunteering your time and refereeing basketball games when we were younger, and then moving up, go to the high school and coaching at the high school. And Mike, you know, I mean, he was my coach, you were my coach, and then my kids, you know, in Atascadero, but coaching Little League and stuff like that. And now I'm coaching at the high school, and you know, I mean, we're just doing what they taught us to do. I mean, give to your community, and you know, it's Templeton's always been a huge family to us. I mean, there's nowhere you couldn't go where if you wrecked your bike in front of somebody's house, they'd come out and take care of you. If you did something wrong, you got your butt whooped out in the middle of the street by somebody else's mom. And, you know, and that's all the stuff that, you know, our parents, you know, kind of.
And you deserved it.
And you
Yeah,
deserved
there's
it.
it.
And our parents would say, you deserved it.
Yeah, and when you get home, you're getting twice as bad.
Yeah, I could get away with anything between like you guys were around town, you had like grandma was watching, my dad was watching, you had like McGill's around the corner. Like I couldn't get away with anything in this town because someone would have been like, "Oh, I saw Katie down at the park and she did," or yeah, they would have gotten somewhere. But yeah, it was just that sense of community. Like that's one thing that I've loved about. I live in Paso now, but I want to come back to Templeton, and I've always just felt that sense of family here in Templeton, and a huge part of that is because of Graham and Grandpa and my dad and you guys and everything. So.
Yeah, paying it forward.
Yeah.
That's what they taught us. And it's kind of funny that I pay it forward in Paso, Mike's in Templeton,
Yeah.
Kenny's in Atascadero, and you know, and Lori also, you know, in Templeton. So I think that's really cool that they passed that on to us. Yeah, we want to, as a family, want to thank ASB, Templeton ASB, for selecting my mother for this great honor. Thank you so much.
Our mother.
Now it's my mother.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.